Okay, we had covered the marketing concept, but I'm just reiterating here. Okay, this is one of the most common method we see these days. It is based on the concept that we need to satisfy what our customers want. The customer is always right. Whatever is their preferences, it is our job to basically meet that or satisfy that. This concept believes that if we do not satisfy our customers, someone else will. Unlike the other concepts, which were actually focusing on the manufacturing process, affordability, or the actual product, the marketing concept actually focuses on the need of the buyer. So whatever our customer needs, our job is to fulfill that. Bus, period. Okay. Every marketing we are doing right now, most of the marketing strategies we are studying, most of the marketing elements we are studying are basically focused on this. Up here is one comparison of the marketing concepts and the sales concept. This comparison is important because it shows how different processes can be when our concepts are different. A marketing concept, a marketing oriented company will have the entire layout in a different pattern. Similarly, a sales concept company would have a very different pattern when they are basically focusing on the sales concept. This slide simply shows that the arrow here is focusing on the selling concept, and the arrow here or a company here is focusing on the marketing concept. The starting point of each company is extremely different. The selling concept will always focus on the factory because the focus here is to make products, make cheap products, or simply work on products. While in the marketing concept, it is important to understand and satisfy the need of the customer. So here the market is more important. The market is important because it is important for us to understand what our customer needs. What are his or her standards? What are their requirements? What are their ability or their ability to pay? What is their disposable income? How much are they willing to pay for a specific product or service? Hence, our starting point is the market. We will be actually present in the market. We will study the market. We will understand the customer. Moving forward, sales concept focuses on existing products. The products we have, we need to sell. On the other hand, the marketing concept focuses on customers' need. Whatever our customer needs, we need to sell them. We need to provide that. The means, how do we basically get this work done in the selling concept? It is by extensive selling and extensive promoting. In the marketing concept, it is integrated marketing. Integrated marketing is a concept I hope you have studied. If you have not studied, I will try to touch that in later sessions. In layman terms, it is extensive marketing efforts across all avenues. By all avenues, I mean all departments, all outlets, all channels which are possible, your vendors, your customers, your suppliers, you yourself as a company, all elements which are important will be integrated in the marketing efforts. The end is more or less profits, but through two different perspectives. The selling concept focuses on profits through sales volume. The more you sell, the more profit you will get. On the other hand, the marketing concept gets profit through customer satisfaction. When our customer is satisfied, they will procure again, they will buy again, they will refer you, and then this is a process which will consistently go on. Is there any confusion in this concept, in these both concepts? Any problem or any confusion here? Please let me know.
Sorry.
Acha, when we talk about societal marketing is a concept in which society is given a lot of importance. There are two schools of thoughts. When we talk about school of thoughts, basically, it means there are two groups which may think differently. There might be a number of people which will have a specific kind of thinking, and there will be another group of people which will be having another concept of thinking. So first, let's decide. Yep, let's understand what societal marketing is, and then we will go into the different school of thoughts here. Basically, societal marketing concept focuses on society, and it focuses on all efforts which, in one way or another, are societally friendly. It is a principle of enlightened marketing that holds that a company should make good marketing decisions by considering consumer wants, the company's requirements, consumer long term interest, and society's long run interest. So basically, it is the definition of marketing, but now we are also considering what the company wants, what the consumer wants, what are the long term interests of the consumer and the society. So we at this point have more factors, we have more variables here. Unlike the initial simplified domain of marketing, where we are simply communicating what the company has and what customers might need, here we have to have a consideration of what the society's long run interests are and should be. In simplest term, we can say that a company should work in a way where the society should benefit from that. If you are an ice cream company, it is important for you to buy products or your raw material from shops or suppliers within the society. It is important that you should, in this way or another, contribute or support the society. If you are a multinational company and you buy all your dairy products from abroad, then that society per se is not to benefit. A societal marketing concept would be that you would be hiring people from the society you're working in. You will try to buy things or products or raw material from the society you're working in. You will make contributions or activities that will affect or support the society. This is one reason companies like Nestle and Unilever, even Angro, buy their milk from local suppliers. Not only it is cheaper, but it is also to make people see that we are a societal oriented marketing company. We do things, and the activities which we are focusing on are consistently to support the society. The workers are from the society, the raw material is from the society. Now, there are two schools of thoughts. One school of thought states that this is simply done because it is good for the society. The company is genuinely trying to help the society, and by this way, both people win. The company wins, the society wins. Then there is another school of thought which basically focuses on the idea that the company genuinely does not want to help the society, but they are doing this simply as a marketing gimmick. They use societal activities in a way so their interest and their ideas and their products can be marketed. They will simply use products they produce from the environment or from the society, so they can market on the element that these products, yeah, these resources were bought from the local environment. So there are two extreme thoughts. One thought will focus on that the company is good and they want to do good things. The other school of thought is focusing on, okay, the company is not necessarily good. Their focus is on profits, and they will only do societal concepts and societal focus simply to have a marketing advantage. Now, this is a very detailed concept. So I'm sure there will be some other topics which we'll be studying, and we will be linking that to societal marketing. uh, Again, there is a statement that if you want to survive in today's world, it is very important for you to adhere or closely link yourself to societal marketing concepts, because society should know that you are there for them. Now, we will look at the holistic marketing concept. The term holistic basically means whole, as a whole. wholesome. So here we are not only focusing on one small element of marketing, but we are looking at marketing as an entire process or an entire entity. It's an entity which is connected or linked to a number of factors or number of groups. So if you look at the slide, you can see a holistic marketing is basically this entire thing. If we look at internal marketing, for the company's perspective, internal marketing would include the marketing department, the senior management, and other departments which may have to work with the marketing department. This would also include the integrated marketing perspective, where all forms of communications are included, the product and services are included, and all the channels of marketing are included. Thirdly, when we talk about relationship marketing, we have to see okay, customers, channels, and partners. All of these are included in relationship marketing because a company has to have good relationship with its customers. It has to have proper channels and have relationship with all elements of the channels. By channels, we are relating to supply chain elements here, the logistic elements here. Then there are partners. By partners, we may refer to the suppliers, we may refer to vendors, we may refer to any other element which works with us. And finally, we have the socially responsible marketing element, which includes elements of the community, as we just discussed, all the legal requirements, if we are not doing anything which might be legally offensive to the company, the environmental element, if we are doing everything in an environmental friendly manner, and then the ethics. Ethically, are we doing everything which is right, or if there is anything which is wrong? So now we have touched all elements of marketing, be it internal marketing, integrated marketing, relationship marketing, or socially responsible marketing. So when we talk about holistic marketing, we are looking at marketing as a whole. We are not focusing on one thing, we are focusing on all elements which may be contributing or linking towards marketing. So this is something which strategic management would do. This is something which strategic marketers would do. This is something which the top marketeers would need to understand. So there might be a department which might be focusing on internal marketing. One would be focusing on integrated marketing. One would be focusing on social responsible marketing. One might be focusing on relationship marketing. But to be truly effective and efficient, it is important to have a holistic approach towards marketing. So you should exactly know what work is being done in which separate area. So everything can be integrated in an effective manner. Redundancy na ho yahan pe. We do not want a redundancy or waste of effort. If you have any problem, any confusion till now, feel free to raise your hand or ask me a question. Now, this is something which I am sure all of you would have an idea about. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Marketing mix is a very important tool which all marketers normally use. It is an important tool, but it is not the most important tool. It is a small tool which we can use to understand our market or our customers. Based on what our customers are, we basically decide the proper marketing mix. The problem here is it is not the only factor which helps us identify everything which has to do with marketing. So when we are teaching basic marketing or introduction to marketing, we have a lot of emphasis on the marketing mix. So at times students unconsciously assume that marketing mix is the most important element here. It is not necessarily the case. So the marketing mix is consistent of, in simplest forms, four elements. They are more complicated marketing
Four
mix.
pieces.
Four piece exactly. Now there are other more complex models where we have things which have increased from 4 piece to 7 piece and then to 11 piece. So right now we will focus on the 4 P's. Then when time comes, we will touch the 7 P's, and then we will go to the 11 P's. Achha, keep one thing in mind that when we talk about marketing mix, we are generally talking in the sense of a company or an organization. So our perspective is a company's perspective. So what are the product which we are offering? What are the price? Yeah, what is the price which we will be charging for that? What promotional activities we will be having, and which place will we be making our product available at? All of this has to be done keeping in mind the customer's need. We would know who the customer is, what our market is, what are the specifications of our customers. Only then, keeping all of this in mind, we will be able to establish a proper marketing mix. It's not something we do on in an ad hoc basis. It is to be designed very carefully after extensive market research. This is the reason you can see in this slide that there is a big chunk of customer needs in the center. The product, price, place, and promotion is the company's perspective. Now, if we want to convert this into the customer's perspective, can you tell me what changes we can make here? When we talk about a product, the company sees a product. What would a customer see? When you are supposed to buy a product, what do you see? Do you see a product or do you see something else?
Sir, quality.
Okay, good. Quality. Because for a person to buy a product, we are basically looking for certain things. जैसे आपने अभी बोला कि we are looking for quality. When we talk about price, company will say a price. For a customer, it is cost. When we talk about promotion, for a customer, it is communication. When we talk about a place, a company will say कि where we want to place our product. For a customer, it is convenience. कि where can I easily get this product? When we talk about a product, what would a customer look at? This should start with a C. प्राइस में कॉस्ट है, प्रमोशन में कम्युनिकेशन है, इसमें कन्वीनियंस है, तो प्रोडक्ट में क्या होगा? Any idea?
जो हमारी बेसिक नीड्स होती हैं, खाना पीना,
यार वो तो बहुत
Food
बेसिक
item.
आएगी. इसमें आई वुड से इट्स मोर ऑफ योर वांट्स. स्क्रीन शेयर हो गई?
नो
Yes,
सर,
sir.
हो गई.
Company would talk about a product, a customer would talk about their needs, the customer needs. So when we are talking about the marketing mix, we need to consider the customer's perspective and we need to consider the company's perspective. Both can be at times different. Yeah, I think somebody's background, there's some talking. So if there's a lot of noise, I would request you to pause, yes, silent your mic. And if you have any questions, feel free to, unpause it and talk to me. Now, when we talk about the 4 Ps, this is something all of you were talking about, right? When we talk about the product, we have elements of product variety, the quality, the design, the features, the brand name, packaging, services, size, warranties, and returns. Now, it is important here to understand that we are not simply talking about everything which is included in the P, but basically when we are a company and an organization, we need to understand that what product can we offer to our customer, what should be the product variety, what should be the product quality. So all of these things are the things which we need to consider when we are targeting a customer. Take for an example Q-Mobile and Samsung. Both of them work in the cell phone industry. Both of them have the target market of consumers who would use cell phone. Now, both of them have a different target market within that broader market. Even though all of their target market is, yeah, are users of cell phones, we need to understand that Q Mobile is usually targeting people who do not want to spend a lot of money for decent phones. They want decent quality mobile phones, but at a cheaper price. And Samsung is targeting people who are emphasizing more on the brand name and their quality. So even though it is the same industry, it is the same type of product, but generally both companies are targeting different markets. So when we talk about the product element here, we will see that there are certain things which are very different between Q Mobile and Samsung, and then there are some things which are very similar. So this is something which is decided after extensive market research. This is not something we will cherry pick. So when we talk about product variety, Samsung has extensive product variety. Even though in Pakistan their variety might be limited, but generally they have an extensive variety. When we talk about Q Mobile, they also have a very good variety, but in Pakistan their variety is rather limited. Quality wise, products differ. Samsung has some cell phones which are extensive, yeah, they have amazing quality, while some products are low end, which are very basic, which very basic quality. Same is with Q Mobile. On the other hand, design wise, Samsung excels. They have the best designs, they spend the most on designs. And that is the only element because of which they are charging so much. They usually incorporate the best designs and they charge a lot of money for that. Q-Mobile introduces their cell phones with decent designs and they charge less for that. So these are some factors, these are some product elements which you can understand how we as a marketer will use when we are designing our product and what kind of product we are supposed to offer to a market. So if you are targeting a low end market where you cannot charge a lot of money, so all four elements of the four P's in the marketing mix will be affected. The price will, for example, be less, the promotion will be relatively different, places will be very different, and so on. I hope it is understandable here. Okay, good. Eh? Okay, we will go through two slides, then we will have a small break, and then we will continue. Okay. Now, frankly speaking, all of these elements and all of these products, just give me 1 second, guys. Ek second. Huh? Okay, now we were talking about the four P's. We have discussed this in relative details, but there are some additional elements here because we have the product, we have discussed some elements here, then we have price, we have the place, we have promotion, we have people. Now this is the fifth element. We have processes, this is the sixth element. We have the physical environment, this is the seventh element. The basic were four, now we have added three more. So these are a further more complicated variation of the basic marketing mix. Now there is nothing technical here. This is simply addition of some elements. We talk about people, we talk about management, we talk about culture, we talk about customer services, and so on. Similarly, when we talk about process, what kind of methodology we are following, what kind of assembly line is being used, the physical environment, are we using proper interfaces, is there proper comfort, there's decent facilities, and so on. So just have a look here. It is nothing technical, so hopefully there should be no issues here. There is proper explanation if you want to go into details, but not that difficult here. We have already discussed this also, the 4 P's, and these are the 4 C's. When we talk about the 4 P's, this is the company's perspective. When we talk about the 4 C's, this is the customer's perspective. The last element which we are touching right now is the market demand. Market demand for a product is a total volume that would be bought by a defined customer group in a defined geographical area in a defined time period in a defined marketing environment under a defined marketing program. So in simple terms, if we talk about soft drinks, so the market demand would be the total demand of soft drinks in a specific geographical market. If you talk about Karachi, the market demand for soft drinks or sodas is the entire demand of sodas in the entire city of Karachi. So the marketing demand would be the total number of drinks that people are willing to consume. So for a company, marketing demand is important so they can identify what market or what geographical area has what kind of demand. Is the demand big enough? Is it profitable enough? Is that specific area being catered to, or other companies are catering to that specific area? So all of these factors help other companies decide if they should enter a specific market, if the market demand is sufficient enough, if the market competition is low enough. So these are some factors which are very important for a number of companies. चलो गाइस, हम लोग एक छोटी सी ब्रेक लेते हैं, देन आई विल